Thanks for checking out this video. So let's go ahead and find out what is coming to Shudder for June 2024. We're going to start, as we usually do, with the Shudder exclusive and originals. And if anyone doesn't know out there, if you haven't seen enough of these videos of mine updating you on what's coming to Shudder, I always say this: for all their exclusive and originals, being series or movies, not the Last Drive-In though, because they don't send me screeners for that, but for everything else, I always put out a no-spoiler review the week that they're going to be hitting Shudder. They usually hit on a Friday. I put out my review on a Monday. Sometimes there are changes to that, but it's been pretty consistent for a while. So just know you can always come to my channel on Mondays, and if there's a movie coming to Shudder that's an original or exclusive that Friday, I will have that no-spoiler review for you. Anyway, let's talk about what they're getting. Their first exclusive or original is The Devil's Bath, and that's coming June 28th. In 1750 Austria, a deeply religious woman named Agnes has just married her beloved, but her mind and heart soon grow heavy as her life becomes a long list of chores and expectations. Day after day, she is increasingly trapped in a murky and lonely path leading to evil thoughts, until the possibility of committing a shocking act of violence seems like the only way out of her inner prison. Giving a voice to the invisible and the unheard women of the rural past, The Devil's Bath is based on historical court records about a shocking, hitherto unexplored chapter of European history. That does sound kind of interesting, so I am interested in that one. Kind of excited about that one. That could be good. The next one is called Exuma, and it's coming June 14th. When a renowned shaman and her protege are hired by a wealthy, enigmatic family, they begin investigating the cause of a disturbing, supernatural illness that affects only the firstborn children of each generation. With the help of a knowledgeable mortician and the country's most revered geomancer, didn't know that was a thing, they soon trace the affliction's origin to a long-hidden family grave located on sacred ground. Sensing an ominous aura surrounding the burial site, the team opts to exhume and relocate the ancestral remains immediately, but as something much darker emerges, they soon discover what befalls those who dare to mess with the wrong grave. That one also sounds kind of interesting. We'll see how it is. I don't get screeners, like I said, for The Last Drive-In, but just a reminder, Season 6 of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs is currently going on. There will be episodes on June 7th and June 21st. And then the one for June 7th, the on-demand version will be available that Sunday the 9th, and for the one on Friday the 21st, it'll be available on Sunday, June 23rd. So there you have it. Then the last exclusive or original is a series called Dracula. It's a Dracula series. This one's going to be available, all episodes available on June 16th, so you can binge it if you want to check it out. And that actually is a Sunday, so if I'm doing a review on this one, which I might not, but I'm in between. I may or may not be doing a review on this one. I'd be putting it out on that previous Friday. All right, synopsis. Golden Globe winner Jonathan Rhys-Meyers stars as Dracula, arriving in London and posing as an American entrepreneur who wants to bring modern science to Victorian society. He's especially interested in the new technology of electricity, which promises to brighten the night, useful for someone who avoids the sun. But he has another reason for his travels. He hopes to take revenge on those who cursed him with immortality centuries earlier. Everything seems to be going according to plan until he becomes infatuated with a woman who appears to be a reincarnation of his dead wife. Sounds interesting enough. I mean, although that is kind of it's an area that's been very well tread, so I'm really hoping that it's particularly good if I'm going to end up reviewing it and watching it, but we'll see. I mean, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers is a good actor, so we'll see. Okay. Now going on to all the stuff that's coming for June. That's the other movies. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're dropping 7 movies on the 1st of June, and these are the 7. Funeral Home. A young woman arrives at her grandmother's house, which used to be a funeral home, to help her turn the place into a bed and breakfast inn. After they open, however, guests begin disappearing or turning up dead. Sounds like it could be interesting. Haven't seen it. And with this one or any movie I'm going to go over, let me know. Do you recommend I check this one out? Do you recommend I don't check it out? I always am interested in your recommendations of stay away from this one or make sure you see this one. So you can put it in the comments. The next one, Death on the Beach. David, the disturbed son of a wealthy businesswoman, returns to his sunny beachside home to try to get over the sexual abuse he suffered at the hands of his boarding school teacher. As he tries to overcome his homosexual urges, David begins murdering all those around him who he sees as being responsible for his trauma. That one also could be kind of interesting. Not 100% sure on it. The next two I'm very interested. Well, actually, the next three I'm very interested in because they are titles that have been released by Vinegar Syndrome. And I've thought about potentially purchasing these, but I didn't know much about them. So maybe watching them on Shudder first would be great so I could figure out if I want to actually buy them or not. The first one is Vacation of Terror. An evil witch gets burned at the stake, but not before vowing to return and get her revenge. 100 years later, a family arrive to spend their vacation at a summer home located in the same immediate countryside area where the witch was killed. Trouble ensues when little girl Gabby finds an ugly doll that's possessed by the lethal spirit of the malevolent witch. That sounds fun. I saw the trailer for it. It looks fun. And then Vacation of Terror 2. The diabolical doll and Pedro return in this sequel. Julio is invited to a birthday party for a little girl on Halloween in a closed movie studio. At the party, he notices he has a doll that resembles the one that his little sister had. That's pretty horribly written, but okay. Also saw the trailer for that. Looked cool. And then the next one, which is also Vinegar Syndrome release, Outing, aka The Lamp. A group of high schoolers decide to stay in a natural museum after closing hours, but a newly acquired and mysterious lamp hiding a deadly force will turn the fun into horror. That sounds kind of fun. And then next film is Arabato. A low-budget horror filmmaker gets in touch with an eccentric who is trying to film his consciousness during drug abuse. That sounds like a really interesting concept. Might be interested in that. And then the last one coming on the 1st, Dr. Caligari from 1989. Have not seen this one. I saw The Cabinet from Dr. Caligari from the 20s. I love that. 20s, 30s? I think 20s, yeah. The granddaughter of an infamous doctor experiments with hormone and shock therapies at her asylum for the insane. Sounds kind of interesting. All right, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 8. Sorry, you're not watching this to see me count. My apologies. The next 8 are coming June 3rd. A Lonely Place to Die. I have seen this one. I thought it was okay. A group of mountaineers in the Scottish Highlands discover a kidnapped girl and are pursued by her captors. The next one is called Backcountry. An urban couple goes camping in the woods and finds themselves lost in the territory of a predatory black bear. Doesn't sound that interesting to me. Pie Wacket. I think I saw that one some time ago and I remember it being okay. A frustrated, angst-ridden teenage girl awakes something in the woods when she naively performs an occult ritual to evoke a witch to kill her mother. Yes, that jogged my memory. Yes, I did see it. It's pretty solid. Hunter x Hunter, which I think Devon Sawa is in that film, if I'm thinking of the right movie. Hunter x Hunter. Joseph and his family live in the remote wilderness as fur trappers, but their tranquility is threatened when they think they are being hunted by the return of a rogue wolf, and Joseph leaves them behind to track it. Interesting. Killing Ground. A couple's camping trip turns into a frightening ordeal when they stumble across the scene of a horrific crime. I don't know, that could go anywhere. That's very vague. The Survivalist. In a time of starvation, a survivalist lives off a small plot of land hidden deep in the forest. When two women seeking food and shelter discover his farm, he finds his existence threatened. That one sounds kind of interesting. Valhalla Rising. Forced for some time to be a fighting slave, a pagan warrior escapes his captors with a boy and joins a group of crusaders on their quest to the Holy Land. That does not sound like a horror film at all. Someone let me know, is it actually a horror film in the comments? And then the last one for that day, The Nightingale. Set in 1825, Claire, a young Irish convict woman, chases a British officer through the rugged Tasmanian wilderness, bent on revenge for a terrible act of violence he committed against her family. On the way, she enlists the services of an Aboriginal tracker named Billy, who is also marked by trauma from his own violence-filled past. Sounds kind of interesting. Might check that out. The next 2 films are coming on June 10th. Night of the Bastard. After an injured woman takes refuge in a gruff recluse's home, the two must find a way to escape from a game of bloodthirsty demonists. That does sound fun. And the last one for June 10th, I have seen this. I highly recommend it. This is a wild, wild movie from Australia. Very kind of frantic. It obviously has a lot of influence from like Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. Body Melt. A lot of fun. Residents of peaceful Pebbles Court, Holmesville, are being used unknowingly as test experiments for a new body drug that causes rapid body decomposition and painful death. It's a wild ride. Check it out. That's also a Vinegar Syndrome release. The next 3 films are coming June 15th. Gateway. In an ordinary abandoned house on what could be an ordinary street, a gang of desperate criminals have found something, or has it found them? Vague. Herd. When a woman trying to outrun her past ends up trapped between a zombie outbreak and warring militia groups, she must fight to find her way back home. Does not sound interesting. I'm too many zombie things out there. I don't want to watch more. And the last one for June 15th, Mother May I. When Anya starts behaving like her fiance's recently deceased mother, Emmett must confront his deepest traumas to free his fiance from this bewildering possession. Maybe. The next 3 are coming June 17th. Girl on the Third Floor. Don Koch tries to renovate a rundown mansion with a sordid history for his growing family, only to learn that the house has other plans. I don't know. Houseboat Horror. This one I definitely want to check out because it was put out by a partner label through Vinegar Syndrome, I believe Umbrella Entertainment from Australia. And this one looks like a crappy shot on video. So I think I need to watch this to figure out if I want to buy it. Houseboat Horror. When a music video shoot on the seemingly tranquil Lake Infinity turns into a smorgasbord of horror, death, and blood-gushing mayhem, it can only mean one thing: Acid Head. A horribly scarred axe-wielding maniac with a grudge against interlopers is on the loose. I watched the trailer. It looks like a extreme so bad it's good film, so I definitely want to watch that. Inn of the Damned is the last one coming June 17th. A sheriff investigates why the guests at a local hostelry, is that a thing? Check in but never check out. That does not sound interesting to me. Then the last 3 films are coming on June 24th. Loop Track. Ian wants to get as far away from humanity as possible and heads into the New Zealand bush, but a 4-day journey turns into a fight for survival. I don't know. Night of Fear. Insane sadistic hermit stalks and captures those who get lost in his part of the woods. A young woman whose car broke down is about to find out what he does with them next. I don't know. And then the last one, this is not really horror, but I do highly recommend it. It was put out by Umbrella Entertainment. I ended up buying it on a whim, and it is a wild ride. It is a lot of fun. Sons of Steel. Check this one out. In a futuristic Australia, a scheme to blow up the Sydney Opera House is discovered. The only way to stop it is to send an agent back in time to prevent the plotters from hatching it. It's like a partial musical, like heavy, like metal musical. It's wild. You have to watch it. Definitely worth it. So there are some ones I really do recommend for this month. As a whole, it doesn't sound like the best, but Sons of Steel, I would definitely check that one out. Houseboat Horror, I want to check that one out. I would say give it a go. Definitely give Body Melt a go. Pyewacket was okay-ish. Definitely want to check out The Lamp, Vacation of Terror 1 and 2. And yeah, those are the big ones. So enough good stuff. So again, give me your recommendations down in the comments. Really appreciate that. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up on this video, please, to help me out with that YouTube algorithm. And you can hit the notification bell button, and that'll let you know when I'm putting up new videos. But thanks so much, and until next time, keep it brutal.